Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tilly, and in today's video I'm going to talk about my rhinoplasty nose job must-haves, as well as things I bought that I ended up not using. So this video is kind of going to cover more of things I needed in the first 1 to 2 weeks post-op, and not so much the aftercare that I needed in the following months. Not a doctor, obviously, please don't overbuy things. If you don't think you need them, please don't. These are just things that I bought and I thought that I needed. So yeah, and also remember I went for surgery abroad, so a lot of these things you can obviously, if you're not abroad, you can just send your mum or your dad or your brother or your boyfriend to the shops to go get them as and when you need them. But we were staying in Turkey, and I just didn't want to be left without and then figuring out where's the shop and all this, so I ended up buying all of these things and bringing them with me. Okay, so the first thing I recommend bringing with you, and this isn't something you can really buy, but that's having support. So I had my boyfriend with me, but if you can bring someone with you, then please do, just because it's so important and you're going to need it. Okay, the next thing that I recommend is having long cables, long chargers, as well as snacks for the hospital, just because even though you're probably not going to need them, you're not going to be too busy being absolutely out of it, but your partner's probably going to get hungry, and their phone, they're going to need it. You're going to be under for so many hours, it's going to get boring. Okay, the next thing to do is the hospital will provide this for you most of the time, but ice. You're going to want to ice your face like crazy for the first 24 to 48 hours. So make sure that you ask the nurse where's the ice station, and make sure that your support person knows where the ice station is, because it's going to be their job to do that for you. You're going to be too out of it to remember that you care. And obviously for post-op, when you're back from the hospital, you're going to want to have those little ice packs that you can get that they're smaller. I got ones that are round, and they're just really good because they're not too cold as well, because as much as you'll want to use ice as much as you can, when you feel like you've had enough of ice, having just those little round compresses is quite nice as well. I'm not going to give any medical advice here. These are more supplements that I took post-op that are going to help. I recommend bringing with you arnica cream. It helps with the bruising, so I applied this just under my eye and on top of my eyes, and it just really made the bruising go away in the first 3 days versus having it for the first 3 weeks. I also recommend as well bringing fibre sachets with you. I used Fibergel, I think, just because you're going to be on so many medication and they usually tend to constipate you, and no one wants to be constipated in that first week post-op, so fibre sachets. The next one is bromelain, which is basically just the pineapple enzymes, so it just helps with swelling, as well as just drinking pineapple juice. You're going to want to have pineapple juice. It's really nice and sweet, and it just keeps your energy levels up, and it also helps with your healing process. Also recommend bringing straws, just because at first your upper lip is kind of numb, and as well drinking and potentially knocking the nose, you're just not going to want to do that, so bring straws with you. Okay, the next one is you're going to want to have extra pillows. So we stayed in a hotel, so we just made sure to ask them to bring up extra pillows before I arrived back from the hospital, but you're just going to want to be able to prop yourself up so that you can sleep essentially sitting up straight. You're also going to want to bring with you either tops with really big necks or that are very stretchy, or button-ups, just so that you don't risk knocking your nose in that first week. So yeah, just make your life easier. You're also going to want to bring with you Q-tips, as well as tissues and cotton rounds, just because no matter what your surgeon does, whether he uses gauze or not in your nose, you're going to be leaking. It's disgusting. So Q-tips, just to catch that little, gross bit of snot, as well as cotton rounds as well, is nice for when you're out and about. Tissues, just because obviously they're still good for sensitive skin, but I like to use the Q-tips and the cotton rounds when I was at the hotel, and it was easy to grab and dispose of, just because it was much more soft on my skin. It's quite sensitive post-op. I'd also as well recommend bringing a neck pillow with you. I probably should have mentioned that with the normal pillows, but yeah, having a neck pillow, first of all, it's great for flight. And I like having the neck pillow just so that when I went to sleep, in case I slid down the bed or anything like that, it stopped me from being able to smush my face in, if that makes sense, to the mattress or the pillows underneath me. It made me remember that no, I need to sit up, I need to it just subconsciously helped me, because obviously I don't normally sleep with a neck pillow on. So I'd recommend bringing a neck pillow. Okay, and then this is just to kind of help with general hygiene that first week, because you can't shower your face or head because you can't get your cast wet. So I recommend bringing with you dry shampoo for your hair and just braiding your hair down as much as possible. Like, I didn't use dry shampoo until the 4th or 5th day post-op, just because my hair was constantly in braids, and that just helped it stay like not as disgusting. It was still gross, and as well I ended up getting professionally washed in a hair salon anyway. And that made me so happy that day. It was like on day 5 or 6. It was disgusting. Bring dry shampoo, and if you can afford it, do go to a hair salon and have your hair washed. The next one is micellar water, because again, you can't wash your face, so this is the only way that I could stay clean. And I also really liked my glycolic acid toner. That kind of just was the only way I could feel like I was getting the dead skin off. So I was probably using that a little bit too much in that first week, but I couldn't wash my face, so I didn't care. It's the only thing that helped me. Bring just a plain moisturiser, nothing fancy. You know, your normal skincare routine's kind of out of the window for that week, so I just had a moisturiser, micellar water, and a glycolic toner. That's the only things that I ended up using, so I'd recommend. As well as lip balm. Your lips are going to be so dry post-op. You're going to want, so I used just Vaseline, and it saved my life. So you're just going to want a normal lip balm for that post-op week. As well, again, more on the lines of hygiene, you're going to want to bring with you a baby toothbrush, like ones that you'd use for kids, because at first you can't open your mouth because you've got stitches and you don't want it, like, you just don't want to. So I'd recommend bringing a baby toothbrush as well as mouthwash, just because your mouth isn't going to be, you're not going to be able to clean your mouth as much as you normally would with like an adult sized toothbrush or an electric toothbrush. So bring a baby toothbrush, just makes things a bit easier. You're going to want to have extra hair ties with you as well, just because even though my hair was in braids all the time, I ended up like tying it in a bun at the bottom of my head a lot, and it's just like hair ties, have loads of them, you don't want to be caught without. Moving on to techie things and into things that I absolutely needed, I'd recommend the apps what's it called? Beat Taxi. I'll like spell it out here, as well as just the Apple Translate app, because first of all, you can't use Uber in Turkey. So yeah, you want to have that app. It works the same way as Uber, it's just for their usual plain taxis, so it's just as safe. The Translate app, just because we had translators available pre-op, but post-op, unless the doctor was there when we were just talking to the nurses one-on-one, they couldn't speak English, so we just had the Translate app, and that helped us just to get by. You know, just questions like, when can we leave? Like, you know, when can she drink? When can she eat? Like that, those kind of like simple things, but it just makes life a little bit easier. I used all of these things while I was in Turkey, and some of them into the following few weeks afterwards. Okay, so things that I ended up bringing with me but I didn't need at first anyway. I didn't need a mister fan. I brought a fan that would mist cold air on me, and people said, oh, you're going to really need it because your nose is so dry. Nope. I don't know. Mine wasn't. I felt fine. I brought thermal like spray water. Again, people were like, bring that. And I'm like, why would I want a wet face when I can't get my face wet? I don't know. So I didn't need that. Also a nasal spray. Now you will need a nasal spray eventually, but usually it's prescribed by your doctor, the one that he wants you to use, as well as just like a saline spray, and I didn't need any of them in the first week. My instructions was to not touch my nose, so I brought them with me. I didn't end up using them until like week 2 or 3 after my operation. The next thing I brought with me that I didn't need was a humidifier. I personally didn't need them. Some people really say it saved their lives, just to sleep with, to be around, because they felt so dry again post-op. I just didn't. I didn't need it. I was fine without. And then the last thing was throat lozenges, just because some people get a really sore throat post-op from being under. Again, can't relate. I was fine, but you know, it's nice to have these things even if you end up not using them. It's best to be over-prepared than under-prepared. But anything like medication-wise, I didn't bring anything with me at all because I knew my doctor was going to prescribe everything. And that's it for today's video. If you've enjoyed it at all, or if you've got any comments on the quality of my content or anything like that, please do comment below. I would love to hear back from you. I'm brand new here on YouTube, clearly. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and I hope you have a great day, guys. Bye!